What's good, brother?
Yo,
what up, though?
Let them know who am I deal with.
You know the bomber cloud thing set already, my lord. You mean?
the God MC Busta Buzz.
What's good, King?
Man, good man. Just over here vibing to this Extinction Level Event 2. When I tell you it's classic, you know, I had to go back and listen to that Extinction Level Event 1.
Yeah.
Yo, like that came out when I was in high school, so it just took me back to that time where the music was hitting so different back then, big dog.
Yeah.
And the creativity in your rhymes and your flows, it was just like there was nothing like it at that time. So right. You know, when I'm you know, as I'm going through the album now, it's like, yo, Busta ain't lose not a damn step.
Thank you.
But Busta's still coming out here with the creativity. You know, I see you went back to some of the usual suspects, your Rottweiler, your Mariah Carey, your MOPs. You know what I'm saying? You got them on the joint, and then you still reached out to some of the new generation. You got your Anderson .Paaks, you got your Kendrick Lamars. So you just bridging the gap between the generations so seamlessly, big dog. What made you, you know, go about putting that album together this way?
To what I've been doing. I don't deviate from the formula that I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? I think from the beginning, you know, I've been putting new artists on my albums with me from the beginning. You know, I'm always about, you know, being an advocate of just working with great talent. I'm not the dude. I'm like, I don't really fuck with that whole I don't mess with that there's a difference between the new and the old generation narrative. Mm-hmm. I'm about who got the shit and who don't. That's what it boils down to for me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It don't matter how old you are. If you're talented as hell, I want to get next to that smoke because I love sitting in a smoking section for time. I love to be where the shit is hot at. I love to be where, you know, I'm going to be inspired. I want to be around whatever is going to continue to keep my blade sharp. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it all boils down to. And that's what I come from. You know, I used to rock with all of the elder statesmen because I knew that if I had the opportunity to rock with the dudes that was already the gods in the game, that just added so much more validity to what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. Especially if I get busy and bust ass. Like, man, like it just makes the reward all the more sweeter when you are welcomed by the gods. You getting the grooming and the jewels, and you getting the game from the gods, and then you get to rock with the gods, and then you get to display your skill set against what the gods is doing. It just adds a whole nother thing to the contrast of, you know, who is this new dude? Mm-hmm. It turns into, who is the new guy? Who's the hot guy? Guy that did his job on that joint right there. Mm-hmm. So, you know, for me, man, you know, there's a lot of dudes that's doing extremely well, streaming wise, selling records wise, radio spin wise, but I'm very selective in who I wanted to rock with. And Anderson .Paak and Kendrick Lamar, it ain't about how successful they are, even though they are both successful as hell. It's about how incredibly do they add to the creative direction of the song, you know, and because I like to work with artists that sound like they can become instruments in the record and make the records more beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I just tried to get the best of their best selves from them for the album. When the moments that they were creating those feelings and those sounds with what they was doing with their flow patterns, and as far as the singers on the album, you know, the octaves they reached, the way they felt like they was really giving us that pain through the way they sang records, or just that beauty in the way they sang records. Mm-hmm. Moments that made me fall in love with them is what I wanted to recapture on my project when I was blessed enough to collab with them again. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it all comes down to, making sure that I'm doing whatever that I can to make the finished product as phenomenal as it could be. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, you know, I tell you, the project is from top to bottom is solid. It's what it need to be. What I was expecting a Busta Rhymes album to be, I gotta salute you on that. Just the way you transcend, you know, hip hop, the way that you do, big dog. I got to give you your roses while you're here. I don't think sometimes we don't give our legends their roses when we're supposed to. And
thank you.
you know, and just me being, you know, as old as I am, I could remember leaders of the new school. You know what I'm saying? I can remember, you know, scenario. He'll bring it back, come through. Yo, I remember that. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
I remember the impact that I had. I remember watching Who's the Man, and you pulling up in the Suzuki truck and you're blowing it. You know what I mean? I know the impact that you've had on the culture.
Right.
And, you know, to transcend that, you know, especially through like you know, like your videos were always a step above everything everybody else was doing, whether it be
thank you,
whether it be Give Me Some More or Woo-Ha or whatever it is. Anytime Busta came with a product, you knew that it was going to be of the supreme, you know, quality, and it wasn't God, bro. So I definitely got to give you your roses on that. Growing up, coming up, you were able to foster relationships with some of the greatest MCs ever. I mean, tell me what was it like, you know, being around a young Tupac, you know what I mean, in his day coming up, you know, Naughty by Nature and Biggie and Jay. Like, what was it like fostering relationships with those people before, you know, it just exploded and went super commercial?
I mean, it was just cool. It was regular. You know, we was all in the same space. And so, you know, when you were in the same space and everybody is moving like they supposed to move, you know, that you know, the A alikes will attract. You know what I'm saying? If you A alike and we be alike, we're gonna see alike. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what it was. You know, everybody was on one accord when it came to upholding the integrity and the code of ethics as young street dudes. You know what I'm saying? We was all from the borough. You know what I'm saying? Me, Hove, Biggie, Chip Fu from Fushnikin, Special Ed. You know, I went to school with Chip Fu and Special Ed in Tilden High School. I went to Western House with Biggie and Hove. You know what I'm saying? And we were just all moving in the same space, and we was all moving in one accord. When it just came to repping the hoods and the street and the code of ethics that we was raised to live by. So it was nothing really out of the norm because we wasn't doing nothing out of the norm. None of us was really on. None of us was superstars yet. You know, we were just all trying to get to the money and just trying to get through school and survive street shit and just enjoy the regular shit that you would be doing and enjoying as teenagers at the time. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's an interesting question because I know seeing all of us the way you see us now, it's like, imagine if we was the way we was now, but in school. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That would have been like that probably would have been a little more interesting story to tell. But, you know, to be honest, again, we was just kids just living life and doing the shit that we was doing at that time, which was either hustling in the street because it was definitely peak in prime Reaganomics era.
Right.
You know what was going on back then?
What was going on back then?
Yeah, that crack was moving and shaking heavy in the street, and we was all indulging as far as getting to the money. Now, in reference to, you know, everything else that was just pretty much the day-to-day norm, we was on that. Everybody wanted to come to school fresh as hell every day. Right. Polo, Tommy Hilfiger, new is on your feet, spot belts on your feet, Bally's, Travel Fox.
Yeah, Travel Fox.
Saucony's, Felines, you know what I'm saying? The Polo Rugbies,
Carl Kanais, your cross.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Carl Kanai used jean suits, what you call it, the Averex leathers, you know what I'm saying? It was all on that time. You know what I'm saying? And it was fun, man. It was free spirited. Everybody was just trying to, you know, turn up in a way where we was doing the same thing that everybody pretty much is doing every day. Just trying to look like the freshest dudes, trying to get to the money, trying to get to the chicks, and trying to hurry up and get the hell out of school and graduate and get to the money even on a full-time level. So that was really it. You know what I mean? Nothing abnormal.
I mean, you've always had a different appearance, a different look about yourself. You know what I mean? Whether it be your wardrobe, whether it be your car game was always sick, or whether it be, you know, your chain game. Listen, Buzz, when I say, like, where did you get that knack for creating jewelry and chains like that? Because, yo, your chain game was pretty immaculate, my brother.
Oh, it still is, brother. Let's not get it twisted up. It still is, brother. We still make the jewelry that, you know, we was first and foremost raised properly by the ancestors.
Right.
you know, when you do the history and you do the research, man, our ancestors since the beginning of time, they was draped in diamonds, they was draped in gold, they draped in rubies, they was draped in emeralds, man. Like this ain't nothing new. So it really came from them. That blood is in our DNA. You know what I'm saying? Now, on a much more recent level, you know how Jamaicans stay, period. And like when that Reaganomics era was real and the money and that cocaine and them crack money was in the street, you know, the yard man them, you know how they was on it. You know what I'm saying? The big change, everything was big and over the top for Jamaicans. You know how that go.
Already.
Dance hall in Jamaica, when a dance hall artist get on stage, feet is kicking everywhere, hands is firing everywhere, one shot busting in the dance and ain't nobody running because they call them just legal shots. And it's pull up all the time as long as you shelling down the dance.
Right.
If you flop and your shit ain't popping, they throwing bottles and stones at your ass.
Alpha come off the stage.
Yeah, Alpha come off of the stage for real. So we are a very over the top, exuberant, proud people as Jamaican people.
Right.
So it don't matter where we go, we still gonna walk in that purpose and in that pride. So whether it's hustle money, whether you are a superstar as an artist, whether you're a man that just learned to trade, and like my father was a licensed electrical contractor, proud Jamaican man. He worked one job, had one boss, and then he was like, fuck that, I'm going to open my own licensed electrical contracting business. Over the top with it, to the point where he grew a staff of employees of, 20, 25, fellow licensed electrical contractors under his tutelage. And, he just moved accordingly on some bullshit. So that's the proud Jamaican aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? We always on it like that. Hip hop was given birth to by Jamaican culture, dance culture. Kool Herc is a yard man. Right. So the jewelry, the outlandish, colorful clothes, the big performance, all of that shit was I took all of that from dance hall, bro. Took all of it from there. And the thing that I knew about using that as a cheat code was that hip hop dudes wasn't doing that. And they wasn't even going to anything dance hall as a source of inspiration to even learn how to do it, because they ain't really know nothing about that because they not from that culture. Right. So obviously being raised in that culture and being raised in that type of a household, this is what I was conditioned, groomed, and born to and bred to be. I'm definitely gonna exploit the shit out of it because best is what I knew the most, and it was a part of my pride and what I was proud of. So I used it to my advantage and continue to bust ass from day one to day now, the same way. So the jewelry game came from that. The car game came from that. The pinky ring game came from that. Nothing different. You know what I'm saying? The jewelry's still here, and this is me dressing down with the jewelry. Like, bag is in the studio with me right now. So if I just needed to switch up for no reason right now because something came up we might need to step out to. We could do it at the blink of an eye. But, even more so than that, when you work so hard for so long, treating yourself to things is the small gratifications that you justifiably earned the right to passage to do for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna always shower myself in the finest jewelry and the finest cars and the finest homes, and I'm gonna shower my family. And I'm gonna make sure that we get to enjoy and benefit to the fullest capacity from the fruits of my labor. We can't take the shit with us when it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna enjoy this shit as much as we can with this little bit of time that we are blessed to have here. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I noticed lately that you've been on your fitness journey heavy.
Absolutely, King. We gotta live. Gotta live, and that's it's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? I let myself go. I was starting to let my family down. I was hearing about it. You know what I'm saying? I never want to disappoint my family, and that's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't like the way I was feeling. I ain't like the way I was looking. You know, I didn't like that I was on 2 blood pressure medicines. I didn't like that I was starting to develop a breathing issue. I didn't like that I had to go on acid reflux medicines. I didn't like none of that shit. I was too young for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I doing this to myself? You know what I mean? Why Why is my son scared of the way I sound when I'm breathing when I fall asleep? Like, that shit ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just started to really feel crazy that I was letting myself go to the point where I had to fix this shit immediately. But the beauty of it was able to be done, and I disciplined myself and believed enough to be able to make the lifestyle changes necessary to successfully execute, this transformation journey. And, I just got to thank my trainers, Dexter Jackson, um, Victor Munoz. Victor Munoz is the primary trainer. Dexter Jackson is the one who really helped me jumpstart this transformation journey for this third time around. This is my third time doing this transformation. Big up to my inspirations in the gym, my brother King Kai Green and also Victor Martinez. And, shout out to the rest of the bodybuilding community and the fitness and wellness community, because I pull a lot of inspiration from a lot of different, bodybuilder competitors that I got relationships now with, because they welcomed me into that community once they started to see me take it serious. And I've been consistent with the gym grind, and a lot of elderly people that I seen in there that I was inspired by, a lot of women that I was inspired by, even kids. They had some kids in the gym that was like 12 and 13 that they on wrestling teams at their high school, and they go into that gym for real so they could do what they need to do while they wrestling on these wrestling teams and football teams. And, I was just seeing everybody that was really getting busy in these gyms in different parts of the country that I was traveling to continue to see through my transformation journey. And as I'm watching this shit, man, I was just like, yo, there's no excuse. I can't make no excuse, bro. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gold's Gym in Venice in LA, training from like April to like July. And I was going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week out there. And I would see the original founder and owner of Calvin Klein jeans.
Wow.
This man is like 80-something years old, and he in the gym every time I went. Like, yo, there's no way that I'm going to make an excuse. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm seeing this man get up and going at his age, and he ain't lifting heavy, but he's lifting. He's doing a lot of reps with lightweight, and it still creates that pain and that burn and that muscle growth and that pump, and you burning them calories, and he looking lean and slim. And I'm like, all right, my fat ass gonna have to fix all of this big stomach shit going on, and I gotta get off these blood pressure meds. And, it was all of that, man, and it worked. It worked, and I definitely am proud of myself, and I'm proud of the way that I was able to make the people that I love and care about proud, because I hear it from them all the time now how proud they are. So it's a beautiful thing, and it's also good to be able to see all of the incredible and positive feedback and just hear from so many people how I inspired them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's been a beautiful journey, and I've been documenting the whole thing. Like I'm gonna get with a production company, and I'm gonna share the whole journey with the world, man. I'm gonna put this documentary out about my whole transformation journey, and we're gonna share the story, and hopefully as many people that I can reach and give inspiration and encouragement to. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Lately, found yourself in the middle of a quick little firestorm, real quick. You challenged the homie from the ATL tip to a versus.
No, I did not.
All right, get it right. Get me right.
Let me correct you, my brother. Uh-huh. And that wasn't no damn firestorm either. That was light. but it was presented to me in the Fat Joe interview that T.I. was going at 50. And, in addition to T.I. going at 50, he was saying something like he was having an issue with New York rappers or whatever. And if the opportunity presented itself to me to do a versus with him, would I do it? So it was presented to me. Mm-hmm. I said, of course, and I will bust his ass. And I will bust whoever ass that want to smoke, because I know what my catalog is looking like. And I think the world knows exactly what my catalog is looking like. And for those who don't know, they're going to learn the hard way, or they're going to learn the righteous way by just doing their research. Mm-hmm. Choice is yours. But either way, I entertain and I welcome whoever, with whoever, whenever, wherever, whatever. That's just how I'm on it. And I'm having a great time with this. And we're going to keep it going and keep it growing in the spirit of respectfully competing and having fun. That's part of one of the major fundamentals of hip hop culture. Battling and respectfully competing or disrespectfully competing, however way you want it. I'm with it either way. I'm always going to uphold the fundamentals and the integrity of the foundation of this culture as a thoroughbred representative of this culture. So that's what it is, man. So with T.I., whoever, I'm cool. T.I.'s moving on with Jay-Z, and that's what's up. You know, I just hope, I hope that the opportunity presents itself to me one day sooner than later. I would love to do it sooner than later because I'm just in a great space. You know, there's a lot of incredible energy surrounding me and the release of this phenomenal, cohesive body of work, Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God, which, by the way, it's important to me to just say to everybody, do yourself the biggest favor. And if you haven't given yourself the opportunity or the luxury of being able to listen to an album from top to bottom so that you can really experience and appreciate the experience of listening to an whole album without just dipping in this shit and taking this song and this playlist and shit and like, just streaming one thing and creating potholes in this landscape of incredible, cohesive, creative gelling of music. You're doing yourself a disservice. You're missing out on the experience of all of the meticulousness and the micromanaging that goes into creating this art and completing this art. And you also might be surprised at the many hidden treasures that you find in the album when you listen to it straight through. Because just because you see the song IDs on the album, don't mean that there ain't things happening between them songs as skits or transitions or moments that are not in the track list and that are not ID'd in the track list that's actually there. Mm-hmm. When you stumble on these little moments, even though they might be minuscule moments, some of them a little more larger than those minuscule moments, they create a whole nother appreciation for the songs that you like. And then the way you hear the collective of the songs. And y'all owe that to yourself to experience that way. Mm-hmm. And listen to the album more than once. Listen to it the first time just for the shock value of how incredible the work is. Number two, listen to it to start to pick up on the shit that might have went over your head or that you just might have missed. Number three, the third time you listen is to dissect that motherfucker. The fourth time you listening to that shit is to have the healthy debates. Mm-hmm. Who the fuck made the best album of the year, let alone the last 5 years? You know, the general consensus is this is a classic. The general consensus that I've been hearing is this is the best album that I've ever made. I actually agree with both. Mm-hmm. You know, but I love to let the people speak. I don't ever want to be biased about my own shit, but you know, so far, man, I have not heard anything outside of that. It's a phenomenal thing to sit and watch people and how they react impulsively, not thinking and rubbing their chin while they listening. But as soon as some shit come on within the first couple of seconds, motherfuckers don't even know how to control their pattern. You know,
that's how I felt. That's how I felt. You know, listening to it these past couple of days. You know,
Thank you, bro.
I gotta salute you on your professionalism. First of all,
thank you.
The way you did your drops for the radio stations made my job so easy, brother. I do those things every week. I put them together every week. But when I got the Busta email and I downloaded the files and I see how my man took his time with doing the drops, you did them right. You know, the quality was there 1000%. It was labeled right. I was like, yo, 30 years in the game. That's why this man is still at the top of the game the way he is, because he treats it like the first day. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
He has the utmost professionalism. And I was like, yo, I got to thank Busta, because sometimes I be in here all night putting those things together for artists. And I'd be tired and I'd be like, man, I don't want to do this. But then when I did yours and the way you sent it over, I was like, yo, boom, boom. I did it real quick and it sounded amazing. And I was like, yo, this music is taking me back a little bit. You know?
Thank you, bro.
The joy with Mariah, I was like, yo, there it is. That's Busta coming with that shit that we need.
Thank you, King. Thank you so much, King. Well, appreciate that greatly, because you can't pay for that kind of reaction. You can't pay for that kind of appreciation. To hear you utter these words, bro, I can't even explain how much this shit resonates with me. You know what I'm saying? And I know you hear everybody's shit. You on the station where y'all and the streaming platforms are the primary reasons that determines the distinguishable difference between who's going to have a career and who's gone in about a week.
True.
Oh, so you hearing everybody's shit. You going through everybody's shit. Y'all got to talk about who going to get the ads. Y'all got to talk about who going to stay on Mix Show. Y'all got to make the decision about who shit ain't playing up here. So it's ill to hear you say this when you don't have to. You know what I mean? And I appreciate it. So, man, I thank you a lot, like a trillion, thousand, bazillion percent. And man, let's keep it going and keep it growing. You feel me? Word.
Definitely. Word to the God MC. Hey, look, Busta, one last thing right before I know you got things to do. I know you're trying to celebrate the I know you got big bottles to bust tonight. You know,
Word.
I gotta remind you of this story because it just sat with it stayed with me for the past 10 years.
Wow. Okay.
I remember I used to produce DJ Drama, Gangsta Grills Radio.
Absolutely.
And I remember you came up to the station one time. I was behind the board and you were talking, and I think we were talking about Eminem's album.
Right.
And you were like, he's gonna sell 1 million copies in the first week. He's gonna go triple platinum in the first week. And I'm like, Busta, no, he's not. You were like, how much do you want to bet? And he's like, put up 1,000. And I was like, all right, cool. I was like, all right, so if he doesn't sell 1 million copies in the first week, the bet's $1,000.
Right.
He was like, okay, bet. I think he sold 980,000 copies. And I was like, oh, shit. I almost owed Busta a stack. I was like, oh my God. I was like, yo, I hope I never have to see Busta if he sells over 1 million copies. He sold 980,000. Birthday Bash comes around. And you come to the city for Birthday Bash in Atlanta.
Right.
And you see me, and you're just like, oh man, I gotta pay these niggas. And Bus went right, you went right in your pocket. Chris Hunnits, here you go. That was the terms. I was like, yo, Busta really just gave me $1,000 right here backstage. So back, and I thought that he wasn't even gonna remember.
Yo, real talk, I absolutely remember that shit like yesterday, brother. Remember that, brother. Yo, and you know what's interesting about that? I walked away from giving you that $1,000, and I was like, motherfucker, man. Motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, not only was the fucking million in the first week like 20,000 short of actually me being able to win, but I lost my money to someone that I didn't know that well.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing now because not only am I a man of principle and I'm a honor my word because, you know, I'm a member of the 5% Nation of the Gods and Nerfs, right?
Yeah.
And the 11th degree in the 1 to 14 lesson, Lost Found Muslim lesson number 1. The degree says, have you not heard that your word shall be bond regardless of whom or what? And the answer is yes, sir. My word is bond, and it is bond with my life, and I shall be willing to give my life before my word shall fail. That shit is serious to me.
Mm-hmm.
You bear witness to that degree. You gotta really live by that as closely as possible without breaking the law. Because obviously you can't kill somebody for lying. You know what I'm saying? So I never want to be a contradictor of something that I actually live by. So even though we didn't know each other that well, and I could have been like, man, fuck that. I ain't spending no money.
And I would have had to tuck my tail and walk away.
You know, but it wouldn't have made me feel good as a man, knowing better than that. So I was like, I gotta honor this. I gotta honor it as a man. I gotta honor him as a man, because if he would have lost, he would have had to give it to me.
I had to come up with it.
Yeah. So I can't not respect you in the same way. I gotta keep the love and the respect and the honor reciprocal. And I'm glad that you have a story and an experience like that to share with me, because it would have been fucked up if you would have said, I ain't never give you your bread. But what I would have did now is I would have sent it to you.
Yo, cash app real quick.
I would have sent it to you, and we would be exchanging information so that I could get you on the phone with my accountant and send a wire transfer first thing Monday morning. Like, that's who I am. You know what I mean? But it's beautiful, though, that we have these moments, man, that are really precious moments, bro. And it's even more beautiful when years pass and we can look back at these moments and laugh and talk about these shits and share these golden moments with people, because they real ones. They're real ones. They're real moments, bro.
Really
and beautiful moments, especially when the result pans out to be positive ones. You know what I'm saying?
Very financially positive, man. I definitely. I think I paid my rent for like 2 months with that. So
that's what's up, bro.
So to be able to share that moment, you know what I mean, with somebody that I admired, you know what I mean, as much as you, that's meant a lot.
Thank you, brother.
Yo, Bus, Extinction Level Event 2, now Conglomerate.
Yes.
I love what you're doing with the Conglomerate.
Thank you, brother.
You know, you had OT Genesis, you know what I mean, that whole movement, you know, you was in that, you know, so you're just creating ways for the new generation and for artists and making them bosses and just creating those lanes for people, man. I gotta salute you on that, bro. I want to thank you so much for just taking out your time to talk to me. So this is another moment I could tell, yeah, Busta. Oh yeah, I interviewed Busta too. That's my man.
Thank you, King. Thank you, King. Word, I appreciate it greatly, brother. And you know, we're gonna continue to keep it going and keep it growing. We got a vibe now. We know each other now. It wasn't like back when we was betting and shit. We with each other now. I respect and appreciate you just for constantly, you know, supporting what I'm doing and watching what I'm doing and paying attention to it, and you know, giving me my flowers, you know, for doing these things. And all I want to do is I'm a giver of love. I'm a giver of opportunity. I was blessed to be given that love and these opportunities when the big homies put their arm around me and schooled me and gave me game and put me up on game, and you know, just taught me the fundamentals and just the proper etiquette on how to be not only as an artist and as a businessman, but as a man. You know what I'm saying? So between my father and, you know, Chris Lighty, my former manager, God rest his soul, and you know, a lot of dudes from the street, and you know, certain other big homies that's artists in the business, and Diddy to Big Bro Q-Tip and Dr. Dre and Hove, and you know, it's like you know, Nas. It's like, you know, these brothers is people that I respect. We're friends. We got a long history with each other, and you know, still sharp and still, man. And we continue to aspire to be great, which also in turn inspires each other to try to be greater. So thank you again for your love, man, to the whole world. Let's go and hear this interview and possibly see it. Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God, the classic album, 11 years in the making. It's available and streaming everywhere right now. Enjoy it. Tonight, we're going to be on Jimmy Fallon at 11:30 Eastern Time, 8:30 Pacific Time. Okay. Everybody enjoy it. My brother Anderson Paak came out there to get busy with me and Spliff Star and DJ Scratch and Talk.
Yo, Spliff is the greatest hype man of all time.
Yo, Spliff is the greatest everything of all time. That man right there is one of the greatest friends that I've ever had. My best friend, my brother, one of the most loyal people that you could ever know. And let's get busy. Like if it's like I'm so honored to have been here in his life to be able to take him out of that street shit. Cause Spliff, he done been shot, he done been to jail, Spliff done shot niggas. Like he's a whole nother, he's a Tasmanian devil when he So I'm glad that, you know, this was a conduit for him. I was able to be a conduit for him to transition into being way more productive with his life. And he's just a brother that I love dearly, man, and wholeheartedly. And, you know, we got a lot of amazing shit left to do. So just, you know, keep your eye on us, brother. And, you know, again, everybody enjoy the album. Enjoy it. Like really appreciate this cohesive body of work. Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God. It's streaming and available everywhere right now, y'all. And big homie, I look forward to us doing this shit again sooner than later.
Absolutely, man. Next time you come into the A, I got to hit Special. Be like, yo, pull
matter of fact, big up to Spesh. He's the godfather of my children.
Wow, that's dope.
In my life, like my mom's, Special is the only person out of all of my homies in Spliff, and maybe in Scratchator and my brother Webb. Those are the only 4 dudes, and maybe Spesh more than everybody, Spesh and Spliff more than anybody. They can come to my mother's house when I'm not in town and sit and watch TV with my mother.
Wow, that's amazing.
And eat dinner with my mother, even if I'm not in town. That's how long they've been a part of my life. That's how long they've been a part of that's how long my mother been welcoming them into our home. You know what I'm saying? We talking 35-year friendships, bro.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And we still moving and shaking today. So it's beautiful to still have that along the course of this entire journey that I've been on, and still be able to have solid relationships with solid individuals, man. So, you know, when I come to the A, I'm definitely pulling up with Spesh, bro.
Definitely.
Word up, King.
I appreciate you, big dog, man.
Appreciate you too, family.
One celebration, you know, you mash up the place tonight, so go out and have fun.
Anna Dada, respect my lord. Me and you gonna link up again soon. See?
Yes, sire.
Bless up yourself, fruit boy.